So hi everyone, welcome to this class. We shall be discussing about matrices, an introduction to matrices. Like I've written on the board, a matrix is an array, or rather you can call it rows and columns of numbers written with square brackets or parentheses. An example of a matrix, for instance, if you are given matrix A, and we say it is given by A, B, C, D. So you can decide to put square brackets, or sometimes you can have it written as A, B, C, D, and you put this. So whichever way, these two represents a matrix. Remember, this is different. If you write this A, B, C, D, and you put this one will mean something different. We'll be coming later on into this. But strictly when you are dealing with matrices, make sure the kind of brackets you use are of this nature. Because using any other brackets will mean something different. So I've said matrices can be represented by either this bracket or this square brackets, and this is an example of a matrix. So the second statement says the number of rows and columns determines the order of a matrix, which is given by stating the number of rows followed by the number of columns. So the order of a matrix is very important because it's going to assist us in calculations. And remember, before you carry out any calculation, you will be looking at the order of a matrix, because when you are taking two matrices, they must be of a given order. We shall be looking into that. For now, we have said our order of a matrix is given by stating the number of rows and followed by stating the number of columns. So we need to know what a row is, we need to know what a column is. So a row is the horizontal arrangement of elements. So for instance, if I look at this, the horizontal arrangement of components in this particular case is this. So this means it's our first row. That is my first row. There. I can also say this is my second row. This is my second row. Remember, I've said a row is an horizontal arrangement of components in a particular array. So you can see AB forms the first row, CD forms the second row. If we look at the column is the vertical arrangement of components in a given array. So this one will form our first column. So this forms our first column. This one will form our second. This one will form our second column. So we have looked at this matrix. Remember, this is the same matrix. So we have said this matrix has first row, second row. It has got the first column, second column. So if we need to write the order of this matrix, the order of that matrix will be, we have said the order is given by rows by columns. So meaning it is 2 by 2. So the order of this matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix. And remember, we don't say 2 times 2. It is pronounced as 2 by 2 matrix. So this word multiplication is represented by the word by. It is a 2 by 2 matrix. We can take another example. For instance, if you are told a matrix A is equals to X, Y, Z, P, Q, R. You are given such a matrix. What will be the order of that matrix? We said the first thing you need to do is to identify the number of rows. You can see here we have this is our first row, and this one will be this is going to be our second row. After you have identified the number of rows, you can also count the number of columns. This one forms our first column. First column. This one forms our second column. Our second column. And of course this one forms our third column. So the order of such a matrix, the order will be, the number of rows are 2, the number of columns are 3. So that is called a 2 by 3 matrix. It's called a 2 by 3 matrix. So that is how you identify what a matrix is, what an order is, and what a row is, and what a column is. We have identified that. I think now we need to move into addition and subtraction of matrices. Addition and subtraction of matrices. So we now look at addition. Addition of matrices. If you are given, for instance, example, you can take an example. Example 1. Given that A is equals to 6, 1, 3, 4, and B is equals to maybe 4, 5, and 7, 2. You are given that. Find let me just write this. Addition and subtraction. Let us just take them concurrently. Addition and subtraction. Find part A, A plus B. Part 2, you're supposed to get, we can even, okay, A minus B. So we want to undertake this, we want to do addition of matrices. So the first thing you need to do, you will take the first matrix. So solution, you will have to take the first matrix, which is 6, 1, 3, 4. And then you add it to the second matrix, which is 4, 5, 7, 2. Remember, we are handling the first part. So the answer will be, you will take these things the way they are. The first one will go with the first one. The second one, of course, moves to the second one. So we will be writing 6 plus 4. The one which occupies the first position here, with the second matrix, with what is in the first position in the second matrix. So you sum them, then you move to this other one. 1 plus 5. You skip some space. 1 plus 5. You move to the second row. We are now looking at the second row of the two matrices. So this one plus this. So you will be having 3 plus 7. You skip some space, then you take 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2. So once you are there, you can now be able to simplify. 6 plus 4 is 10. Skip some space. 1 plus 5 is 6. This is 10. And this is 6. It is by coincidence that we are having 10, 10, 6, 6. But by calculation, you need to get the figures. So that is basically what will happen if you add. We now want to move to the second part, which is subtraction. The second part tells us to take A minus B. We know our A is 6, 1. 6, 1, 3, 4, minus 4, 5, 7, 2. We have that. So what we need to do, we take 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4, 1 minus 5, the same thing we did to addition, but in this case we are subtracting. 3 minus 7, and then 4 minus 2. So this will be able to give us, 6 minus 4, you get 2. And then 1 minus that, you get minus 4. This one you will get minus 4. This one you will get 2. So that is the answers that you will be able to get by taking addition and subtraction for this particular for that particular case. I think that is clear. I want us to take a combined case. You can be given addition and subtraction at the same time. So we can take one more example on this. You can be told, we are taking example 2, you can be told, given that A is equal to that, B is equal to this, and perhaps you are given C, and C is equal to, maybe let us take 2, 9, and 5, 7. You are now told to find A plus C minus B. That is what you are told to do. If you are told to evaluate these, the best thing you will do, you just arrange them the way they have, in the order they have given you in the question. So meaning, your first part will be 6, 1, 3, 4. This is your A, plus your C is 2, 9, 5, 7. You subtract B, which is 4, 5, 7, 2. So once you have written it in that manner, so this one you will just be taking them the way they are. The first one in the first column, in the first matrix, with the first one in the second matrix, with the first one in the third matrix. Of course, observing the signs. So this one will be the same as 6 plus 2 minus 4 plus 2 minus 4. After you do that, you will skip some space so that you can now move to the second one. So the second one is 1 plus 9 minus 5. Remember, I've taken this one plus 9 plus 5 because we are now looking at the second part in the first row. Remember, we are dealing with the first row first. This is our first row. So we have taken the first elements, we have worked on them. This is what we are having. We are now in the second part. We are looking at the second elements within that first row. We have presented them in that particular manner. We now move to the second row, where we shall have 3 plus 5 minus 7. Remember what I've done? I've taken this and that because they happen to be in the first part of the second column. After doing this, you skip some space. We have 4 plus 7 minus 2. So we have now done that evaluation. We need to simplify this. You can put the brackets. We can now simplify so that we have 6 plus 2, you will have 8. 8 minus 4, you will have 4. You move to the second part. 1 plus 9 is 10 minus 5, you get 5. You come to this one. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 minus 7, you will get 1. So you will have to write 1 there. 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 minus 2, you will get 9. So that is the result after you have summed up the two matrices. So basically that is what is going to happen once you do those additions and multiplication for that particular point. I think for that particular case we will stop there.